Jack Harper's hands moved with precise, deliberate strokes, coaxing life from the once lifeless block of wood. The workshop aboard the human colony ship Endeavour buzzed with activity, yet it was Jack's work that drew the most curiosity and, unfortunately, the most ridicule. "You still at that old craft, Jack?" Kyle, a fellow colonist, leaned against the doorframe, smirking. "The Empire's got tech that can do that in seconds." Jack didn't look up. "It's not about speed, Kyle. It's about the soul in the work. Something machines can't replicate." Kyle shrugged and walked away, leaving Jack to his thoughts. His mentor, Liam O'Connor, had always said that true craftsmanship was a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. But in the eyes of the Galactic Empire, humans were relics clinging to outdated practices. The workshop door slid open again, and this time, the air grew heavier with the presence of Commander Vortok. The Imperial official's imposing figure cast a shadow that seemed to swallow the room. "Harper," Vortok's voice was a low rumble, dripping with disdain. "Word has reached us of your skills. I challenge you to prove your worth. Come to the Imperial space station and show us what your primitive hands can do." Jack's heart pounded. The Empire's advanced technology was legendary, and his traditional skills felt insignificant in comparison. "Why should I?" he asked, masking his uncertainty with defiance. "Because if you fail," Vortok sneered, "it will confirm what we already believe, that humans are obsolete." Setting up his modest workshop in a designated area, Jack felt the eyes of countless alien onlookers upon him. He began his work, each stroke of his tools a testament to his skill and heritage. But even as he lost himself in the rhythm of his craft, doubts gnawed at him. The first night, as Jack carefully sanded the final details of his piece, he noticed something amiss. His tools had been tampered with, their edges dulled and surfaces marred. It was clear someone wanted him to fail. "Not today," Jack muttered, pulling out backup tools and redoubling his efforts. He worked through the night, his focus unwavering despite the sabotage. By dawn, the intricate wooden sculpture stood completed, a symbol of human resilience and artistry. Commander Vortok returned, accompanied by a crowd of Imperial officials and curious onlookers. Jack unveiled his creation, a beautifully carved wooden model of a human hand, each detail meticulously crafted to symbolize unity and strength. The room fell silent. Then murmurs of astonishment spread through the crowd. Even Vortok, who had approached with a smirk, seemed taken aback. Jack's heart raced as he awaited the verdict. "Impressive," Vortok admitted begrudgingly, stepping closer to examine the sculpture. "Perhaps there is more to human handiwork than we thought." Jack felt a surge of triumph, but it was short-lived. As the crowd dispersed, a figure lingered in the shadows, eyes glinting with malice. Jack recognized him as an Imperial rival, notorious for his disdain of anything non-technological. "You may have impressed them today," the rival hissed, "but don't think for a moment that you've earned your place here." The words hung in the air as the rival melted back into the crowd, leaving Jack with a mix of pride and unease. He had proven his worth, but the real challenges were just beginning. Jack Harper stepped off the shuttle, the oppressive atmosphere of the Imperial space station bearing down on him. The station, a marvel of alien technology, gleamed with cold precision. His modest wooden tools felt like relics in this futuristic setting, but he carried them with pride, knowing they represented centuries of human craftsmanship. As Jack navigated the labyrinthine corridors, alien eyes followed him, their expressions ranging from curiosity to disdain. He was an anomaly in this world of metal and circuits, and his presence was a challenge to their perception of human inferiority. His workshop space was a stark, sterile room allocated in a bustling section of the station. The walls, devoid of any warmth, reflected the clinical efficiency of the Empire. Jack unpacked his tools, each one a testament to his heritage, and began to prepare for his task. "Yes, I am," Jack replied, straightening up. "Jack Harper." Telvac, the artisan, introduced himself, extending a spindly hand. "I must admit, I'm curious. I've heard tales of your skills, but seeing is believing." When the time came to present their works, Jack unveiled his repaired sculpture. It stood as a symbol of human tenacity and creativity, each detail meticulously restored. The Imperial piece, though flawless, lacked the warmth and soul that Jack's work exuded. Commander Vortok stepped forward, his expression inscrutable. He examined both pieces closely. Finally, he turned to Jack, his voice resonating through the hall. "You have shown us something unexpected, Harper. Your craftsmanship, despite the sabotage, speaks volumes about the human spirit." A wave of relief washed over Jack, but he knew this was only the beginning. The recognition was a significant victory, yet the true battle for respect and equality was far from over. As he stood amidst the crowd's mixed reactions, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. The bustling arena was filled with anticipation, the crowd's energy palpable as they awaited the grand demonstration. Jack Harper stood at the edge of the stage, his nerves taut as he prepared to showcase his latest creation. The Imperial officials and curious onlookers formed a semicircle, their eyes fixed on the contrast between Jack's humble setup and the gleaming, advanced equipment of his rival. Jack glanced at his opponent, the Imperial artisan whose machine hummed with mechanical efficiency. The rival's disdainful sneer was a constant reminder of the stakes. This wasn't just about skill, it was about proving humanity's worth. Taking a deep breath, Jack began. His hands moved with fluid precision, each stroke of the chisel a testament to years of dedication. The wood seemed to come alive under his touch, transforming into a piece of art that captured the essence of human creativity. The crowd watched in silence, their skepticism gradually melting into awe. Even Commander Vortok, who had issued the challenge, seemed intrigued. Jack's creation took shape, a sculpture that depicted the journey of humanity's struggles, triumphs, and the indomitable spirit that defined them. But just as Jack was adding the final details, a sudden commotion erupted. The rival's machine emitted a sharp whine before sputtering to a halt. The crowd gasped, eyes darting between the two artisans. The rival's face twisted in frustration as he frantically tried to fix the malfunction. Jack's heart raced. This was his chance. He worked faster, his movements a blur as he completed his sculpture. The final touch was a delicate carving of a hand, reaching out as if to grasp the future. It was a symbol of hope and resilience, a message that transcended words. As Jack stepped back, the crowd erupted into applause. The rival, unable to repair his machine in time, was left with an incomplete piece. Commander Vortok approached, his expression unreadable. He examined both works, his gaze lingering on Jack's sculpture. "Harper," Vortok finally said, his voice carrying a tone of reluctant admiration. "Your work is extraordinary. You've shown us that true craftsmanship cannot be replicated by machines alone." A wave of relief washed over Jack. He had done it. He had proven that human skill and creativity were invaluable. But as the applause died down, he noticed a figure lurking in the shadows, the Imperial rival, his eyes burning with resentment. The rival stepped forward, a dangerous glint in his eye. "This isn't over, Harper," he hissed. "You may have won today, but don't think for a moment that you've earned our respect." Jack met his gaze steadily. "Respect is earned through actions, not words, and I'll continue to prove my worth." The tension between them crackled like electricity, but Jack refused to back down. He knew that this victory was only a small step in a larger battle for recognition and equality. As the crowd dispersed, Jack felt a hand on his shoulder. He turned to see Telvac, the alien artisan who had shown interest in his work. "You've done well, Jack," Telvac said, his voice filled with genuine admiration. "Your craftsmanship has inspired many today." "Thank you, Telvac," Jack replied, feeling a swell of gratitude. "But I know this is just the beginning. There are still many who doubt us." Telvac nodded. "True, but you've planted a seed. With time and perseverance, it will grow." Jack smiled, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. He had faced the challenge and emerged victorious, but the road ahead was still fraught with obstacles. He would need to continue honing his craft, building bridges between cultures, and proving that humanity's spirit was unbreakable. The day ended with a sense of accomplishment, yet the lingering threat from his rival cast a shadow over the victory. Jack knew he couldn't let his guard down. The real challenge was maintaining the momentum and continuing to earn respect through every action and creation. The spacious hall of the Imperial space station was abuzz with anticipation. Jack Harper stood at the center, feeling the weight of 1,000 eyes upon him. His Imperial rival, still seething from the previous defeat, had challenged him to a duel of craftsmanship. This time, it wasn't just about skill, it was about honor and the right to be respected among the galaxy's finest artisans. The challenge was straightforward. Both would create a piece that symbolized their respective cultures. Jack, with his traditional tools and raw wood, and the rival, with his advanced machinery and synthetic materials. The winner would be decided by the Emperor himself, whose judgment was final. Jack glanced around the hall, noting the mix of skepticism and curiosity in the crowd. His eyes met Telvac's, who gave him an encouraging nod. Nearby, Commander Vortok watched with a stern, unreadable expression. The stakes were higher than ever, and Jack knew he had to pour every ounce of his skill and passion into this challenge. As the duel commenced, the hall fell silent. Jack's hands moved with practiced precision, the rhythm of his work a calming presence amid the tension. Each cut, each carve, was deliberate, channeling the essence of human history and resilience. His creation began to take shape, a figure of a human, arms outstretched, reaching for the stars. It was a tribute to human ambition and perseverance, a testament to their unyielding spirit. His rival's machine worked rapidly, producing a sleek, futuristic sculpture. It was flawless in execution, but lacked the soul that Jack's piece exuded. The contrast between the two works became apparent as they neared completion. The mini-climax approached as the Emperor stepped forward to inspect the works. The crowd held its breath. The rival's piece was a marvel of technology, smooth and perfect, but devoid of warmth. Jack's sculpture, though less polished, radiated emotion and depth. The Emperor examined both pieces meticulously. His gaze lingered on Jack's sculpture, his expression softening as he traced the lines of the outstretched arms. "Harper," he said, his voice resonating through the hall, "your work speaks to the heart. It embodies the spirit of humanity, their struggles and triumphs." A murmur of approval rippled through the crowd. Jack's heart swelled with pride, but he maintained his composure, knowing that the final judgment was yet to come. The rival, unable to accept the impending loss, stepped forward. "This is absurd," he cried. "A machine can create perfection, something humans can never achieve." The Emperor turned to him, his expression stern. "Perfection without soul is hollow. Harper's work has shown us the essence of what it means to create with passion and purpose. It is not about the tools, but the heart behind them." The rival's face twisted with fury, but he could do nothing against the Emperor's decree. Jack felt a surge of relief and validation, his efforts finally recognized. But just as the crowd began to disperse, an alarm blared through the station. A malfunction in the reactor core threatened to cause a catastrophic explosion. Panic ensued, and chaos erupted in the hall. Without hesitation, Jack sprang into action. His calm demeanor and quick thinking stood out amid the confusion. "Telvac, help me with this," he called, grabbing essential tools. Together, they worked to stabilize the reactor. Jack's knowledge of structural integrity and Telvac's technological expertise forming an unlikely but effective team. As they labored, Jack's rival watched from the sidelines, torn between his pride and the unfolding crisis. Finally, unable to ignore his better nature, he joined them. "What do you need?" he asked grudgingly. Jack looked up, surprised but grateful. "Take this and secure the conduits," he instructed, handing over a tool. The three of them worked in unison, their combined efforts averting the disaster. When the reactor was stabilized, the crowd erupted into cheers. The Emperor, visibly relieved, approached Jack. "You have not only proven your skill, but your bravery and leadership. You have earned the respect of the Empire." Jack, exhausted but triumphant, nodded. "Thank you, Your Majesty. It's an honor." As the hall slowly returned to normal, Jack's rival approached him. "I underestimated you, Harper," he admitted. "You've shown me that true skill goes beyond mere technique.